Yeah, we're into our third year in September, so I believe that will, and it's great news for us. Bill's a very astute businessman, one of the most successful ones in the country. He's regularly in the Sunday Times top list. Was it 500 richest guys? So that speaks for itself. From my point of view, he's also a very fervent and avid boxing fan. Helps, and we're all. We're very pleased that he's decided to get involved with the promotions and the channel.
You said there on the stage, and you've said in the past that you didn't want your sons to go into boxing, but they've sort of earned their stripes with the Queensbury promotions over the years. They've done their own small hall shows. And do you feel you're ready to take that step back and let them push on with that?
I think that they'll push on. I'm not going to take a step back, but they'll push on and do their thing. And I didn't really want them involved in the sport, to be quite honest. But the fact of the matter there is, and they want to be involved in it. So I'll do my best to encourage them and give them what advice I can. But at the end of the day, they're their own people, their own men. But I think between all of us, we all bring different things to the party, and I think it's a good team that we've got.
You talked about delivering the big fights. We've seen you've done that internationally, definitely with Mayweather versus Canelo coming up on the channel. But how about Queensbury Promotions developing those fighters? And what do you see as being the big fighters and the big fights in the next 12 to 18 months?
We've got some good fighters there. I mean, I'll use him as an example. Frankie Gavin, I'll be very surprised if Amir Khan wins his fight, even if he loses his fight. Him and Amir Khan's a big fight. Him and Kell Brook's a big fight. We look at Billy Joe Saunders, Darren Barker, and him would be a great fight for London. It's a big fight. Derek Chisora, he's getting himself back in the game. He's got the European title fight on the 21st of September at the Copper Box Arena in London. If he comes through that, he's well and truly back in the game. And we've got many, many other youngsters there. Paul Butler, Stephen Smith. There's numerous youngsters who are already there to go. One
thing that you've shown throughout your career is that you invest in the young talent and you bring them through. We saw that with Ricky Hatton, no better example than that. You brought him right the way through, all on Sky Television without terrestrial television, and you've drilled that into your boys by the sounds of things, and they've already gone out, and by the sounds of things from Francis, he signed a few fighters over the summer. And what can we expect from the younger fighters that he's going to bring through?
I think to learn their craft, to get exposure, to fight regularly, and to learn the business. And then when they're ready to roll, then to let them off the hook, let them off the leash, I should say, let them off the leash, and let them go and challenge for the titles. But I don't think we've changed too much what we're doing as regarding our I suppose not say doctrine, but our the way we look after fighters. I mean, I think we've been pretty successful in doing that over the years. But I think that it's the investments there is enable us to go and deliver the even bigger promotions that we've done in the past. In the last 12 months, the biggest promotion in the UK was Chisora and David Hay, and we did that. We did that last July. There are a lot of big fights out there to be made, and we're in a position now where we can make those fights happen.
You've answered your critics in a lot of ways. People said the channel wouldn't last. It's still here going into its third year. People said you didn't give your guys tough enough tests, and you put Nathan Cleverly in arguably the toughest test at light heavyweight against a sort of an unknown quality but a dangerous puncher. You've been putting on the big fights. You mentioned some fights there between your guys and the likes of Darren Barker, etc., who are with Matchroom Sport. Do you think that is a realistic thing, that those fights could happen, that are on Box Nation or on Sky?
Well, if the fights go to purse bids, then there's no reason they shouldn't happen. And let's get it right. If it wasn't for Queensbury, the rider wouldn't be getting the biggest purse he's had in his career, which is a fact of life. He's getting quite a very significant purse in his challenge with Billy Joe, which again is on the 21st of September at the Copper Box. That's what it's all about. It's not about these fighters can't box on another channel. It should be what's best for the fighter, and that's what we've done. My fighters, if I feel that they're in winnable fights and they can win those fights going across the road, then I'll let that fight happen, because it's the end game for me. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, it's good, decent competition, and good, decent competition is only one winner, and that's the fans.
And Frank, for you, you've been promoting for years and years, but now you're almost dipping into the role of TV executive and running your own channel. Have you learned a lot of stuff during your time with Box Nation, stuff that you didn't necessarily know before?
Yeah, I think you learn. If you say you know everything, then you're an idiot. You learn every day. It's life's tough. You learn from everything that you do. As far as the channel's concerned, it's been a real learning curve for me because, no one's done it before. No one's done what we've done before. We've gone out there. We put our money where our mouth is. We put our hearts, our souls into this, and we delivered some great fights over the last 2 years. And as I say, we're into our third year now. And hopefully we're moving into what you'd equate with Sky's moment in a smaller way, obviously, but we're moving into our Premiership moment that with the financial input that we're getting from Bill and obviously the infrastructure that he brings along with him. It is it has been tough. Without a doubt, it's been the toughest time I've had in my time in my working life. But it's probably been perversely and maybe masochistically one of the most enjoyable ones, and I'm still got a bit between my teeth, and I'm still ready to go, and thankfully I've got support of 2 youngsters and Bill on board.
Just a quick question about the international fights. You've seen that you've not only just committed to homegrown boxing, but you've given the fans those big fights over the last couple of years. And as someone mentioned at the press conference there, Sky have cottoned onto that and they're now investing in international fights. How does it work with the relationship with, say, Golden Boy? And it seems that maybe Sky have done a deal with HBO or with Top Rank over there. Is that like a fight-by-fight cases, or is it sort of a long-term deal?
No, they're long-term deals with a couple of promoters that Box Nation are involved with.
So we can look forward to keep seeing these big Golden Boy and Sauerland shows.
You'll see these fights and other promoters. There are a lot of other promoters out there whose shows we'll get involved with.
And just last question, we've seen Top Rank, they're promoting shows now in Macau, over in Hong Kong, and they're going into the Japanese market with the Olympic gold medalists. Any plans for Queensbury or for Box Nation to sort of invest in nations outside of the UK and Europe?
Well, the idea is to roll Box Nation out worldwide, and we have employed somebody to do that. So the idea is to take the channel into other territories, and in doing so is that we are looking at some overseas fighters that we're interested in signing.